Hi, welcome to Make It Funny, where I take your suggestions and I make them funny. If you'd like to leave a suggestion, put it in the comments and I will make it funny. I guarantee it. Today's suggestion comes from Blake Lively. Interesting. Wonder if it's the same. And the suggestion is gossip. I'm going to say this. It won't be very popular, but I love gossip. I think it's great, and I think it's necessary. I don't care what you say, Oprah. Gossip is great. And the reason that it's great is because it is something we need as humans to survive. Maybe not so much now, but once upon a time, it was very important. Gossip was how we knew in our tribe what, other humans were doing. And sometimes that was very important information. Because, we don't have claws or fangs and we're hairless and we're basically the weakest animal on the planet. So what we have is community. But when you have community, we need to be able to figure out who shouldn't be in our community anymore. And that's where gossip comes in. Even the apes were doing it. Before they evolved into humans, the apes were like, and then they do that thing where, the ape they're talking about walks into the crowd and they're like, and they all get quiet. Anyway, yeah, it's an evolutionary way that humans survive because you did have to know, let's just say, right, we're 10,000 years ago and somebody's like, hey, did you hear? Did you hear about Thog? Yeah, he's been stealing berries. Yeah, Martha told me he's been stealing berries. And then we're like, well, that's not a good thing because if he's hogging all the berries, we're all going to die of starvation. So I need to go to our chieftain and tell him about Thog stealing the berries. And then they kill Thog, and then everyone eats them because, it's 10,000 years ago and food's scarce or whatever. But we got rid of Thog all because gossip. But nowadays, I know it's not as great, but I will admit my favorite thing to hear is, did you hear about so-and-so? I'm like, what? No, but I'm definitely on board. But it helps us even in today. Because you say, like, well, Dave, nowadays, it's just mean. It's just petty and mean. But is it? Is it? We take the same situation, but instead of 10,000 years ago with Thog stealing the berries, now we're in the local workplace, and you're like, hey, did you hear? Did you hear about Ted? Yeah, I heard he's a serial killer. And then, the person who was going to go out and get drinks with him later is like, you know what? Maybe I won't. Thank you. Thanks for the gossip. But it also helps in other ways, like relationships. It prolongs mating in the form of relationships like this. How many times has it happened that somebody who's gossiping says, hey, did you know that Mike likes you? And the girl's like, no, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. And that's great because I like Mike. And this whole time, I didn't even know he liked me. So you know what? I'm going to go on a date with him. And, and then years from now, we'll be mating and that'll prolong the human race. So that's a good thing that gossiping is good for. It's good for things like your health. Because, let's face it, it feels good to gossip. It sure does. We as humans take some bizarre pleasure in other people's misery, and we all like to get together and talk about it. And I know it's not great if the other person hears about it, but I say everyone in the gossip circle, shut your effing mouth. And then we can all enjoy the gossiping, which releases endorphins, it lowers our heart rate, it makes us feel better about our lives because we're talking about that other person's life that's much worse. So ultimately, all of us gossipers are going to live longer than the person who's holding it inside. It's like, once upon a time, Oprah told me it was bad to gossip, and now I have 8 ulcers. And hey, listen, here's a tip to anyone who doesn't know. If you're walking around this planet thinking that nobody is talking about you, no. Everybody talks about everybody. That's the other reason I gossip, because I know I'm getting it from other people, even my friends. You would expect gossip from your enemies, but your friends are talking about you too. They are. Let's go back to the monkey example. How many times have you walked in on your friends and everyone gets suddenly silent? Mid-sentence? Marlene, you had to stop mid-sentence? I wonder why. Could it be because you were talking about me? I thought we were best friends. So that's my advice to you. Just know that everyone's talking about you. Your family, your friends, your enemies. So my point is, tit for tat. Then you should talk about everyone else. Because back to the part where we need it to survive as humans, and it also feels good and raises endorphins and stuff. All right, fine. Here's a disclaimer. I don't think that gossiping is great. Actually, I do. But, for anyone who's going to get bent out of shape about it, no, you shouldn't gossip. No, you should never do it.